Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Homer. Let's talk some mountain weather. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. First off, my spider chart, odds of best snow next 5 to 7 days. So more purple, higher on the web, better odds of snow during this time period. And it's really the west. And in particular, the Pacific Northwest, parts of BC around Whistler, Blackcomb, 2 to 3 feet of snow in my forecast with 2 to 3 different storm systems moving through the area. The initial trajectory of them all will be towards the Pacific Northwest. Colorado looks good to me. Northern New Mexico looks good. And I'll detail when I think the best chances of snow are for these places coming up. I also like parts of northern Idaho, northwest Montana. We'll get some snow out of all this. So those places are definitely higher on the web here. Here's my bullet points. So 2 to 3 different storms. And I say 2 to 3 because there's definitely 2. There may be one in the middle, in the mix, that hits quickly, drops south through California and the Sierra, and then just like disintegrates. It's really the third storm of the bunch, 213, 214, 215, that is going to be the coldest, biggest of the storm systems, the most organized, the best track. The Northeast, unfortunately, I don't have much snow in my forecast, and I'll show you the numbers coming up, but they're pretty light with potentially a rain-snow mix on 2 occasions. So that's going to cut down on accumulation. All right, let me show you what I'm seeing right now. This is the water vapor satellite. Oranges and reds represent drier air aloft. Let me mark the big features. Big storm there. Again, trajectories into the Pacific Northwest in BC. Another storm kind of dropping down through the Intermountain West. Another storm in the Midwest. So you can see the storm track. That's what's pretty obvious here is this. All these storms are kind of riding the jet and moving into the Pacific Northwest, and then they're dropping down into the Intermountain West. Let me show you the pattern. So when we get out to, let me bring up the jet here. So this is 217. Way out on 217. So this is just after the third storm, the largest of the 3 moves through on 213, 214, 215. That storm would have already moved through, and you can see a little ridging behind it over the Intermountain West with the next trough, an area of low pressure on 217 already approaching the West Coast or already hitting the West Coast. So there's another storm behind that. So you've got the 2 to 3 storms I'm looking at now, and then this one hitting the West Coast on 217. So that's good to see. Let me show you what the timing is going to look like with all of this. Here's the forecast radar and satellite. So here's Thursday morning at 6 a.m., leftover snow sliding out of Colorado. Here's Friday morning. There's that low that drops down through the Sierra. It's quick, and then it's done. Here comes the biggest storm of the bunch, hitting the Pacific Northwest and BC. There's 13. There's the morning. There's the evening of the 13th. That low would then drop down through with colder air into the Intermountain West on 214 and 215 with some pretty good snow accumulation for some areas. So that's the way things time out. Let me show you what the numbers look like. 29 through 217. So again, what we're looking at here is 2 to 3 different storm systems. The snow from those. 2 to 3 feet, Whistler, Blackcomb to Baker. Probably about 1 foot to 2 feet through Stevens, Timberline, and Bachelor. A little bit of snow brushing California and the Sierra. But anywhere from 6 to 12 through the Tetons and Big Sky. In Colorado, it's the combination of 2 different storm systems there. That's why the numbers are so big, 4 to 12 inches, maybe more, 4 to 14 if you look in the San Juans. The San Juan should do well, and then generally 6 to 12 for northern New Mexico. And keep in mind, by the time we get into the 17th, there's that other storm system approaching the West Coast. So there's another storm on the prowl. All right, let's look at the Northeast. So this is 29 through 217, and again, I don't have a whole lot of snow unless you're in northern New Hampshire, northern Maine, northern Vermont maybe, where you're getting some wraparound in the colder air. Otherwise, I just think you're battling a rain-snow mix. You know, I was looking at Killington, taking a closer look, and, you know, you go from snow to rain with the first storm, and that just cuts down on everything. So that's going to be the fight in the Northeast. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care.